YouTube. This is Melantart VA.
And Sakia Amano.
And welcome to the next episode of our Sonic Retrospective. Today we are talking about Sonic Adventure 2. Probably one of the best perceived games until assholes like Pro Jared tried to tear it apart.
Live and learn.
So yeah, like we said, this is probably one of the most highly praised Sonic games in the world, and for very good reason. It introduced each of our favorite characters, who we will get to. But first, let's see, who do we want to talk about? Do you want to talk about the characters with, how they were introduced chronologically in the story? Since if you actually look it up online, you can watch the cutscenes in proper order.
Yeah, let's discuss that.
All right, so in that case, the first character we actually play as is the evil genius himself. Hang on, is the evil genius himself, Dr. Eggman. Which weirdly, Eggman uses a style similar to Gamma. Did you notice that?
Yeah, he does.
Which actually, a fun fact: originally the game. Fuck, I can't talk. Originally, the only playable characters were going to be Sonic, Knuckles, and Eggman, but the fans wanted Tails, and so that's how they came up with the Hero and Dark stories in general. Hell, back then, there was no mention of Shadow or Rouge.
Actually, technically, there was a beta version of Rouge named Nails.
Oh yeah, that's right, and Shadow was called Terios.
Yeah.
Those were some weird times, weren't they?
Yeah, and it's like, I think there was supposedly kind of a reason she was called Nails. I think it's because she was tough as nails, but it's like, I'm kind of glad they changed her name to Rouge.
Oh yeah, also weirdly for Terios, I think Shadow was actually going to be a black fiery cat who, ironically, eventually became Blaze.
Yeah. So it kind of makes you wonder if Shadow was like the beta for Blaze.
Yeah, but anyway, let's get back on topic with Dr. Eggman. Sadly, this was once again another game where the English voice acting was just not good.
No, but it's like, then again, I think that was also just the terrible voice actors.
Well, actually, Dean Bristow as Eggman was not that bad. I actually missed the guy.
True.
But yeah, sadly, we will get to one of the bad voice actors later. And anyway, let's see.
And also one of the bad voice actors, my favorite character.
Oh yeah, but before we get to her, next I believe is actually... Next up is actually... Oh, come on! Come on, this freaking image will not cooperate. There we go! My boy Shadow! I'm sorry, I'm such a fangirl.
Yeah, then again, wait till you hear me fangirl over Rouge.
But anyway, to me, it feels like both Shadow and Sonic's movement was ultimately the perfection of Sonic's gameplay in Sonic Adventure. Does that make sense? Would you agree with that?
Yeah. Yeah, because they're the perfect mix of balance and ability to control the...
Oh yeah, plus the homing attack...
It just felt satisfying to use.
Oh, yeah. Granted, nowadays Shadow's got more combat-related abilities, which honestly I think isn't that bad. But I do understand why back during Sonic Adventure 2 they literally used the same control scheme for, the Hero and Dark Side characters.
Yeah, since they wanted them to feel like mirrors.
Yeah. And thankfully... Oh my god, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I'm such a fangirl. I fucking love Shadow. Granted, I'm not Sonic 93 levels of fangirl, but I shit myself insert with him. I've got 3 plushies of him. God, I'm disgusting.
You're basically a sane Sonic 93.
Yeah. Also, God, I don't know, if we should talk about this yet, but, Shadow's motivation, Shadow's, once again, one of those sympathetic antagonists that Sega seems to not want to go back to.
And it's sad because it's like he had a really good backstory back in the day.
Yeah, which Shadow the Hedgehog did tap into, and don't worry, we will get to that. Even if, really, Shadow the Hedgehog kind of made things more confusing.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move away from Shadow, and let's see, if I remember correctly, next... Oh god, who do we talk about first? First, because like really, you could interchange them.
True.
Do we talk about Knuckles first? Do we talk about Rouge first? Or do you want to talk about them both? Sakia, who do you want to talk about first? Or should we just talk about both of them since they control the exact fucking same? Alright, let's talk about Rouge. First of all, everybody, stop sexualizing her!
Seriously.
Yes, she is 18. Yes, she is wearing a skimpy outfit, but she is not a sex object.
Yeah, she is. She's more than just a pair of boobs.
Exactly. Like, Rouge is how you do a fan service character. She's got a brain, she knows how to fight, and she doesn't just use her looks to get what she wants.
Yeah, exactly.
Granted, it helps, but she doesn't entirely rely on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Sakia, is there anything else you'd like to say about like how Rouge controls or just Rouge as a character?
I'd say Rouge acts almost like a... Well, aside from being my favorite character in this whole... Sorry about the old fangirl moment.
That's okay.
Anyway, Rouge, I'd say she plays almost like a mirror of both Tails and Knuckles. Since her missions basically play like how Knuckles' play out in the Hero campaign.
Mm-hmm.
And she plays also like a mirror of Tails because of her flight. But then again, Tails goes around in a mech, so...
Yeah, plus like if you think about it, Sonic Advance 2 treats her flying more like gliding. It even has the same sound effect as when Knuckles glides.
Yeah, and the only thing is that you see her wings flap.
Yeah, which I don't think that's how flying is supposed to work.
Yeah, it's like... And also, if there's one thing I hated about Rouge Sonic Adventure 2...
Oh, here we go!
Character. Don't get me started on her voice acting as Lonnie Manel.
Oh god, guys!
I saw the hunter.
Guys, this might be the only time we say this, and honestly, Miss Manila, we do apologize if you're watching this, but the bitch can't deliver for shit.
Yeah, cause like no offense, Lonnie, but let's hope you've learned from your mistakes.
Yeah. Okay then. I believe.
Lonnie, to be fair, I'm glad you actually didn't go the voice of some of the other voice actors.
Oh yeah. Okay, and next.
I'm glad you at least made Rouge somewhat likable.
Yeah, but like,
try.
honestly, like, the current voice actress I think nails the role better. Karen Strassman. And don't worry, everyone. We'll get to the Studiopolis cast. And next, I believe we get to talk. Actually, Sakia, do you want to talk about Knuckles next, since they really sort of debut at the same time if you're going chronologically?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about Knuckles. Knuckles has gotten a bit of a downgrade, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, like, a Sonic Adventure, like, literally detect multiple shards at once, and that made, like, clearing his levels so much easier. Sonic Adventure 2? Exactly, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
Knuckles, buddy, what happened?
Yeah, and it's like, I mean, like, and it also doesn't make any sense that Rouge can only record one because she's a bat.
Sadly, Sonic Adventure 2 kind of messed with a lot of character. Yeah, but and weirdly, like, Knuckles' vocal performance is kind of on and off. Like, sometimes he sounds good, sometimes he sounds like he's reading his lines for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck happened in the recording studio. I'm pretty sure that the voice recorders went or rather the voice directors, went on vacation for half of the game's development time.
Yeah.
Okay then, and now that Knuckles is done, let's talk about Sonic, who effectively kind of does break the law by evading police.
Though I gotta say, City Escape was one of my favorite levels in the whole series.
Oh my god, yes.
Oh my god, that snowboarding section in the very beginning with the piece of the helicopter.
Oh yeah, rolling around at the speed of sound. Got places to go, gotta follow my rainbow. Although honestly, Knuckles' vocal tracks for his stages are some of my favorites.
Yeah, that's I'm sorry, but City Escape you cannot top.
Oh yeah, like City Escape, that's still one of the best first Sonic levels ever created.
I think that's one of Crush 40's best songs.
Actually, I don't think that was Crush 40. I don't think it was.
Really?
Yeah, hang on a second. In the meantime, let's talk about how Sonic controls. Sonic, honestly, feels like just a little bit stiffer in this game. I don't know if that's just me.
Yeah, he does, because 3D Sonic he felt nice and fluid, but at the same time, he didn't feel too fluid.
Here we go. Escape from the City by Ted Poley and Tony Harnell. Not Crush 40. Could have fooled me.
Yeah, that sounds like a Crush 40 tune.
Yeah, but honestly, Crush 40 tracks tend to be more hard rock, if you will.
Yeah, where where I'd say that was more just regular old rock.
Yeah, that was more like soft rock, I'd say. Also, guys, let's actually take a second to talk about the power-ups, because some of the power-ups are necessary. Some of them are why do these exist?
Yeah.
Primarily for me, the biggest why does this exist is honestly the magic hands. It's what's the point of this?
Seriously.
Why does Sonic have this?
Yeah, and it's why don't you have the classic power-ups like the shield, the flame shield, lightning shield?
Well, actually, to be fair, some of those items do still exist, except for the flame shield. But then again, we didn't really need the flame shield in modern levels. But anyway,
fire levels, at least in Sonic's levels.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, also the soap shoes, we never see those outside of this game and one episode of Sonic X. And honestly, I think the soap shoes are really cool.
Yeah, and it's it was great because it felt like a nice reward for finding it.
Sakuya, he wore the soap shoes across the entire game. Those are the shoes he used for grinding.
Oh yeah, those.
Yeah, those, silly.
Oh, the soap shoes.
Yeah, the soap shoes, not the Lightspeed Dash. Or the light shoes.
Mixed up.
That's okay.
I'm a dumbass.
No, you're not. Also, guys, can we take a second to talk about the rival battles? Some of them are good. Some of them are shit.
Yeah.
For me, possibly the two worst rival battles would have to be Knuckles vs. Rouge and the rematch between Tails and Eggman.
Oh, yeah.
Tails and Eggman rematch? It all comes down to one issue. There's no rings. How the fuck does your rival have the Chaos Cannon and the homing missiles? That doesn't make sense.
And it's not fair.
Exactly, that is bullshit. And frankly, I still have no idea how I manage to win those battles in less than 30 seconds. I don't know how I do it.
The way I do it, just sit there and mash the shoot button.
But no, actually, I do actually have to run around mainly because of the homing missiles and the chaos laser.
But again, it's still mostly just a matter of just run around and mash the shoot button.
Fair enough, although granted, there is one rival battle that we all absolutely love. And I think you know what it is, Sakuya.
Sonic versus Shadow.
Yes!
Yeah, and let's not forget that final race in space.
Absolutely! That's fucking epic! And honestly, I just love the music, and honestly, I can actually quote Shadow's opening line for that fight from memory. Before this is over, I'll show you the true power of chaos control! Oh my god, Shadow's so epic! And there's actually one moment during the cutscene after the Knuckles and Rouge fight, it makes me laugh, but not entirely for wholesome reasons.
Yeah, the, tension.
No, it's not that! Essentially, like, if you, like, mash the like, A button at, like, a certain point after that cutscene, Big literally drops down and he's jerking off behind Rouge.
Oh god.
I am not kidding. That actually happens. I told you. It makes me giggle for not entirely wholesome reasons.
Like, Big, you're getting a little too excited to see Rouge there.
Exactly. And furthermore, Big is somehow in the background of like every level.
Behind Rouge.
Oh yeah, like I'll actually send you that later after we finish recording.
Please do.
All right. Anyway.
I'm sorry, I can't even keep my composure anymore.
Okay, let's. How about we move on to the final story? Now that we've talked about the main story.
Yeah.
So anyway, the final story. Eggman's grandfather is kind of insane.
Oh yeah.
Granted, the man wasn't always. The man's reason for like creating Shadow, he wasn't insane when he did that. It was ultimately losing Maria, who he was trying to save, that drove him insane.
Remember, he was originally a kindly old man.
Exactly. Plus, like, Maria was dying. Shadow was like Maria's only chance of living.
Yeah. And then when she died, it's like Shadow kind of lost his sense of purpose.
Exactly. As did Gerald Robotnik. Like, Maria was literally everything to him, although this does beg one question. And I think you know what this question is. Where was the Eggman we knew while all this was going on?
Yeah, because wasn't he actually Gerald's grandson?
Yes, he was, and Maria's cousin.
Yeah, so he would have been alive during that time.
Exactly, so that begs the question, where was he, and wouldn't he have known about this entire situation?
Yeah, because he never mentions Maria despite being his cousin.
Exactly, like...
Or despite her being his cousin.
Like, somehow Sonic X fixed this. Somehow, like, Eggman essentially, like, sees, like, a photo of, like, a Gerald Robotnik with, like, Maria, and, like, he knows who she is.
Yeah.
Which begs the question. Where was Eggman while the raid on the Ark and the Project Shadow experiment was going on, and how did he not know about it?
Yeah, exactly, because you think he would have heard about it by the time Gunn attacked it.
Exactly, and also, speaking of plot holes, there is one we gotta address, and frankly, it's one I'm sick of hearing about, but it is one we gotta address.
Oh, and there's a plot hole you brought up, the one about, the one where they sent Gunn to kill Rouge.
That's the one I was alluding to.
Because it's like, how the hell was Gunn so stupid as to go send their agents to go kill their only chance at stopping Eggman?
Or the bigger question, why didn't Rouge fucking call them?
Yeah, because, Rouge is never that, careless.
Exactly. Rouge is usually very careful when she goes on missions.
Yeah, she's very meticulous. She makes sure she's ready. She makes sure everyone knows what she's about to do.
Exactly. So, like, what the fuck happened here? Was this bad writing? Was there no foresight.
Did Rouge just forget?
Exactly.
Did Rouge not have her morning cup of coffee?
Also, like, when the reveal happens, how did Shadow know?
Yeah.
Like, Shadow's resourceful, I'll give him that. But how did he find out? I mean, like, again, Sonic 06 kind of explains this. He literally walks in on, like, Rouge essentially contacting her partner. Sonic Adventure 2, this does not happen. So therefore, how the fuck did Shadow find out?
Yeah, exactly.
God, we are nipping the fuck out of this. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Sadly, the level in Sonic Adventure 2's final story, I fucking hate it.
Yeah.
Like, no joke. First time I ever played this on the Nintendo GameCube, I spent 2 weeks grinding for 99 lives because I was so sick of dying in Canon's Core.
Ugh.
And then, actually before we get to that, Amy finally does something useful. For once in her life, she actually gets Shadow to effectively change his mind by simply bringing up Maria's final wish. Although this does kind of beg a question. Seriously, how did Shadow interpret give everyone a chance to be happy as kill everyone?
Yeah, it's like that makes him more like an angel of mercy than the hero Maria wanted him to be.
Although granted, it is implied that Gerald fucked with Shadow's memories because he went insane.
True.
And also that I kind of have another question that's kind of, Sakuya, you're probably gonna think I'm absolutely insane for asking this, but it absolutely has to be done. After the raid, Gerald Robotnik was imprisoned, correct?
Yeah.
Then tell me this. How the fuck did he program the Ark to crash into the Earth from his cell?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense unless he had some kind of remote control we didn't know about.
Exactly. Plus, like, if you look at the cell, there weren't even any computers there. He just wrote a formula on the wall, which... the fuck?
Yeah, it's like, again, unless he was hiding some kind of remote control up his butt.
Yeah, but anyway, let's move on.
Before we start ranting like crazy.
Yeah. Now we get to what I personally consider the worst and most poorly programmed boss in the game. The Bio-Lizard. God, I fucking hate this thing. Like, seriously, like, with, like, the balls of energy it shoots out, how are you supposed to know if it's gonna go above you or below you?
Seriously.
They do not give you enough time to react to that.
I mean, like, Sega, why do you have to program such an unfair end boss?
Well, actually, that's not the end boss, because the real end boss, while it does have some bullshit, is actually kind of fun, even if it does have one problem that isn't made perfectly apparent unless you listen closely to the audio, and that is the final hazard. Oh,
yeah. But still, the Bio-Lizard was definitely an unfair fight.
Oh, yeah, I'm not gonna deny that. But anyway, like, one of the characters literally says that, like, in 5 minutes, the Earth is gonna collide. And sadly, if you don't beat the boss in 5 minutes, you gotta start the fight over.
Yeah, it's like, ugh.
Also, like, during, like, the final 2 hits, can we agree that that's not fair?
No.
All of those lasers and all those eggs, how the fuck are you supposed to avoid that when you simply have, like, a dash up button and a dash down button?
Seriously.
That is not a good manner of avoiding. How did Sonic 06 get a better Super Sonic and Super Shadow boss fight?
Yeah, seriously.
But anyway, after that, we all know what happens. Shadow sacrifices himself for the Earth. And originally, he was supposed to stay dead, but we will get to that.
Yeah.
Also, like, the final ending cutscene is actually really sweet. There's no awkward jokes. There's no...
all Sonic says is sayonara, Shadow.
I meant before that with, like, everyone talking about the adventure they just had.
Oh, yeah.
Although, sadly, this ending exchange is a good example of just how bad some of the voice actors were, especially poor young Corey Bringus. Kid, I am so sorry, but you were terrible.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like, a Tails delivery is possibly worse than Rouge.
It's like, let's just hope he continued his career and actually, like, learned from that.
Oh yeah, plus, like, a Tails is a terrible delivery I can absolutely forgive because he was a kid.
Yeah, he wouldn't know, he wouldn't have proper voice acting experience.
Bingo, but Lonnie Manella, there is no excuse.
Especially considering Lonnie Manella has a profile from before Sonic Adventure 2. She was Bubsy, for God's sake.
Specifically the worst iteration of Bubsy, but let's not talk about that.
Yeah.
So, that was Sonic Adventure 2. Final thoughts? Once again, it aged like cheese. It's great, but it stinks.
Yeah. It's, still a very good game, but... Take the quality with a grain of salt.
Oh yeah, like, we love this game. Both of us do, but honestly, it does have issues that cannot be overlooked.
No, just like Sonic Adventure, this game needs a remaster.
Oh yes. Anyway, everybody, thank you so much for watching, and tomorrow we're gonna have a very special guest as we talk about Sonic Heroes. I'm Melantart.
And I'm Saki Amano.
And we'll see all of you tomorrow.
See ya.